Super Bowl 50 is unique for a lot of reasons. No Roman numerals, the use of gold on, well, everything. Feel free to laugh if you'd like. I know it does kind of look a little silly, but it's one of the fun exhibits at the NFL Fan Experience.
As Kenny Banya would say from Seinfeld, that's gold, Jerry, gold. The Denver Broncos are Super Bowl champions. They win the Golden Super Bowl, Super Bowl 50, and they do it with defense. With the Broncos being Super Bowl champs, we had to catch up with the one Bronco who's from the Valley. You mentioned him, Virgil Green. Leading up to kickoff, there were so many week-long festivities, and we went to as many of them as we could, most of them in the San Francisco area.
Without this, they can't play the game. Since 1941, Wilson has been the official creator and supplier of game-used footballs for the NFL. And as part of the NFL Fan Experience here in San Francisco, you can actually see the process from start to finish, how a football is made.
They're made the same way as we're making them here. Everything's identical. Even though this ball won't go in the game, it's identical to the one that will be in the game.
Dan Riegel is the plant manager of the Wilson Football Factory. He oversees about 140 employees that make footballs every single day. And since each NFL team uses between 800 and 1,000 footballs a year, he and his team are quite busy.
We sew the ball together inside out because the seams have to be on the inside. So after we get the ball sewn together, we turn it right side out through where the laces are going to be. So then we put a bladder in the ball, which is what holds the air in it, lace it shut, and the fourth thing we do here is mold the ball, which puts 100 PSI in the ball, straightens all the seams out, checks the bladder. Before the mold opens, it's back down to 13 PSI, which is gameplay. The ball's ready to be inspected and shipped.
From start to finish, the process of making one football only takes about 5 to 10 minutes, but it's the end result that makes these guys take pride in their work.
They kick that off, that's our ball they're kicking off. It was made in Ada, Ohio.
I had to ask about Deflategate because going into last year's Super Bowl, a lot was made about the PSI. I was told the Wilson Football Factory wasn't affected because every football leaves the factory at the same PSI level, 13. In San Francisco, I'm Andrew Marden. The city of San Francisco is known for a lot of things. The Golden Gate Bridge, Alcatraz, cable cars, Chinatown, the list goes on and on. This week, it's known for hosting the big game, but not just any big game, the 50th big game.
This is the culmination of a 2.5-year journey. When the host committee was formed in September of 2013, we came up with the ambitious goal of redefining the Super Bowl.
With this being the 50th big game, you've probably noticed the gold-themed promotions all season long. The city of San Francisco is hoping that'll make this year's game and the week-long festivities leading up to it that much more memorable.
We knew that the 50th Super Bowl would be a milestone, historic moment for the NFL, and the energy that was around us at the time just motivated us to say, hey, how do we do this differently?
We started all the way back to last year's draft where we introduced the gold. It's pulled through the Hall of Fame game, through kickoff, which was out here in San Francisco as well, all the way through the year.
It's been 31 years since the Bay Area last hosted a big game, 1985. That game was in Stanford. This one is in Santa Clara. But San Francisco has spent roughly $5 million to make sure it has enough to satisfy an estimated 1 million visitors.
If anything, this is going to go down in history as a special Super Bowl, not just for the numeric number that was used and changed from the Roman numerals, but also for its philanthropic accomplishments that we've already seen through the Super Bowl fund.
The economic impact of hosting the 50th big game, it could reach $800 million. And of course, each of the last 6 big games were watched nationwide by 100 million people. In San Francisco for the Big Game Countdown, I'm Andrew Marden. More than 100 million people will watch Super Bowl 50 on Sunday. A lot of those people will watch the game for the Broncos or the Panthers or just because they like football in general. But there will be probably several million people that watch just for the commercials, my mom included. Now, some of the Super Bowl commercials have been pretty memorable in recent years, and at the NFL Fan Experience, there is a display to put that all in perspective. Commercials. Sometimes they're great, sometimes they're not. Okay, let's be honest. Usually they just get in the way of whatever program you're trying to watch. But companies typically up their game for the Super Bowl, an event Doritos has been a part of for 17 years.
We have actual props that are as iconic as the ad themselves. So you got the Doritos vending machine where a guy is throwing a globe, a globe on it, snow globe at it. So you're going to see that. So consumers can actually throw that, by the way, when they come down here. And actually see if they can get it into the vending machine. Next, you have the Doritos Samurai suit, where you can actually wear the Doritos Samurai suit and throw the Doritos the furthest.
Doritos began its Crash the Super Bowl contest in 2006, where it asked fans to come up with their own ideas. This is a look back at the best of the last 10 years.
We have this 5-month conversation with the consumers, and then this is just part of that. So make sure the consumers who are actually in San Francisco can experience and feel and interact with the brands, not just watch it on TV when the ads run.
This year, Doritos has 3 finalists for its user-generated content submission, one from Australia, one from Los Angeles, one from New York. The winner will be revealed during Super Bowl 50 on Sunday. At the NFL Fan Experience in San Francisco, I'm Andrew Marden. We're coming to you live from Super Bowl City, which isn't very active right now since it is after 11 o'clock at night. But during the day, this place is packed with fans. What's really neat about this Super Bowl, it's a regional Super Bowl. So San Francisco has a lot of the events, but Santa Clara has the game. And tonight, Media Day was in San Jose. I should say Media Night, because normally Media Day is during the day on Tuesday of Super Bowl week. But this year they had it at night, on Monday. Still the same craziness that you've come to expect from Super Bowl Media Day, or night in this case. You get a chance to talk to both teams. The Denver Broncos were up first, then the Carolina Panthers. And of course, we had to track down the 2 local connections in this game. For the Carolina Panthers, that would be linebacker Ben Jacobs. For the Denver Broncos, that would be tight end Virgil Green. He's from Tulare. I had a chance to talk to both tonight.
You spend all those years watching other guys from Fresno State go to the Super Bowl, you know, it's Logan Mankins, Ryan Wendell, guys like that, and you can only hope that you can follow those footsteps and get the opportunity to play on this stage, and it means a lot.
Growing up, I was a basketball guy. I love basketball. Football was something I never thought that I would even be decent in college at, because I just didn't do much of it growing up. So I was just strictly basketball, so no, I never dreamed anything like this would happen.
Both those guys were pleasantly shocked and overwhelmed at the amount of media there tonight. Of course, there were fans that paid to get into the SAP Center in San Jose just to watch the festivities, and they couldn't really hear anything because they were sitting far away from where all the interviews were taking place. Virgil Green, a lot of family members for him coming to the game because he's from California. Ben Jacobs told me he recently bought a house in Fresno, so he's living back in the Valley. Live at Super Bowl City in San Francisco, I'm Andrew Marden for Sports Central.